Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. I am going to send Steve the stream link, and he'll be hopping in here any moment. We got Thursday night football tonight. We got some news as well. Joe Burrow should be back this week, which is interesting. We've got obviously some injury news to talk about in the game tonight. So I thought originally that the Bills, because they're down Hardman and Curtis Samuel tonight, I thought that Keon Coleman would be back active, but the same people that reported last week that he would be a healthy scratch reported the same thing. So it sounds like no Keon Coleman again tonight. So I think you have pretty good value on any of the Buffalo pass catchers. They just they're all similarly priced outside of Khalil Shakir. I think Shakir is probably, the most likely to do something in the passing game, especially because Houston has good outside corner play. He's probably going to play more across the middle of the field. But even Shakir is, plus 260 for a touchdown, 12-1 for the first touchdown. And then after that, you get into the Josh Palmers of the world, Tyrell Shavers, Gabe Davis, Elijah Moore. I don't even know. I was kind of questioning if he was going to be active, but I guess he will. I think Steve's in here. I'm going to bring him in now. All this over being late. Landon, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Guru. I mean, I'm sure all this, the being late part, I'm going to bring Steve in here. I'm sure the being late, it was kind of like the final straw, right? I don't think that was the sole reason as to why, because he's gotten suspended before for disciplinary stuff. And then that seemed like it was like the final straw for them. So I think you can question if he's going to be on the team next year. And they just don't seem very motivated to put him back on the field. And that's saying something, considering the Bills' biggest issue is they have no playmakers on offense outside of Josh Allen and James Cook. So the fact that they are comfortable keeping him inactive is really telling. So I like Gabe Davis tonight from Buffalo. That's kind of my guy. Has rapport with Josh Allen. Outside of Shakir last week, anybody that ran routes, they were all in that 15 to 17 range. There was no separation after Shakir. So I think Shavers, who scored a touchdown last week, Palmer, Gabe Davis, those guys are all going to be on the field for probably the same amount of time. If one of them saw a big uptick in terms of pass routes, I feel like Gabe Davis could be that guy just because he's played there before. He knows Josh Allen, and they kind of looked to get him a touchdown last week. It didn't end up working out that way. Shavers is more of a pass blocker, so even though he caught a touchdown last week, if they're running the ball a lot and they're winning the game, then you could see him, his snaps could be pretty high because he's a pretty good blocker. So he would be on the field in that situation. But I think from a pass down perspective, in terms of routes, the guy that can separate the most is Gabe Davis. And you're getting a pretty good price on him, plus 550 anytime touchdown, 25-1 for first touchdown. So, Steve, sorry, I was kind of on a tangent there, but how are you doing today?
Good. Doing well. I didn't want to interrupt your flow. You're really you're rhyming there.
Yeah,
you're Eminem on the 8 Mile.
Interesting situation with the Bills. Like I said, so they're already they have no playmakers as it is. Hardman, he's been returning kicks and mixing in for them. He's out. Curtis Samuel, who they paid a bunch of money to kind of be an option for them on offense, he's out. So you're kind of stuck with this weird grouping of guys, and then they're going to have Keon Coleman inactive again, apparently. So I think there's some value in the betting side of things on the Bills pass catchers. Obviously, in the fantasy streets, there's some value there as well. So it's an interesting kind of situation to work through in this game tonight.
Yeah. So I completely agree. I still think it's amazing that they still put up like 40 points, not every week, but they still have the high end ceiling to do that. The other thing is, and I don't know what the value is, but James Cook and Josh Allen, it just means that they're going to have to do more. And Josh Allen seems
Yeah.
to be always good for a rushing touchdown. So is Cook.
Yeah, Josh
Good
Allen,
safety floor.
six total touchdowns last week.
Yeah, yeah, he had a pretty good week.
Yeah, that's insane. And then like on the Houston side of things, I really don't know. The way to beat Buffalo has been to run on them. So Woody Marks has kind of taken over as the Texans running back. Could they bring Nick Chubb back in the fold tonight? Potentially. I mean, I don't think Nick Chubb has like anything left to give. And the fact that the Browns got rid of him, you can say what you want about the Browns being an inept organization because they are in most aspects, but Andrew Berry is very good at identifying when guys are at that age apex and going to fall off. Like Amari Cooper did nothing after they got rid of him. Zadarius Smith they got rid of, and he ended up retiring midseason this year for the Eagles. So, the fact that they were willing to let Nick Chubb, who is like the most popular Brown of my lifetime, the fact that they were willing to let him go tells me that they knew he was just completely toasted, and he just hasn't been on the field that much at all the last few games. So on a short week, I really don't see how that could correct. So I think it's probably Woody Marks, and then like it's Nico Collins on offense. Like this is their offense right now with Davis Mills at quarterback. Honestly, like Davis Mills, he ran a touchdown in against Jacksonville late in that game. I could see him getting in the mix for like a quarterback sneak, but yeah, the Texans right now are kind of a disaster on offense.
Yeah. Yeah, Woody Marks had 19 total touches last week.
Yeah. He's pretty much taken over. So, I mean, if I'm looking at guys on Houston to contribute, it's him, Nico Collins. Like, I just don't know between those other receivers. If you want to talk Higgins or, Christian Kirk, Xavier Hutchinson, it's kind of just like a bunch of randoms, very similar to Buffalo in that aspect. Like you're trying to shoot fish in a barrel right there. So I don't know. Should be an interesting game. I mean, Buffalo only minus 5.5, even though Houston's kind of like in a weird spot. And then total 44.5. We had one good like game in terms of points on Monday. We could be back to like just a clunker. This could be like a Bills win, 24-10 type thing. Like not very exciting.
What do we have on the docket
All
today
right.
there, bud?
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you want to I want to get updated on your team. In the expert league, I can update my teams as well. And then if there is anything, I was gonna ask, like, have you heard any kind of rumblings from the Toronto Blue Jays offseason? I know allegedly they tried to sign Iglesias along with the Dodgers, but he chose to stay with Atlanta.
I haven't heard anything. I did in my group chat today they were talking about something, but I've been in meetings all day. So let me just check Twitter what they were talking about.
It might have been Iglesias because there was like a report, I think, from Jeff Passan that the Dodgers and the Blue Jays were making a play for him, but then he
Maybe
decided.
that was it. They were talking about Bo Bichette. Now I'm looking at the group chat, so I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know if
Yeah. So, I mean, I
there's some
guess
grumblings.
is he going to he's not going to be on the Blue Jays next year? I did hear that. So,
Well, I don't know. I heard that the offer that they made was significant, but quite affordable in my opinion. Can't remember what it was. It was, a couple $100 million, which, a couple $100 million is it's not a big deal, in the modern era. Um, but the interesting thing is I believe they're trying to use Miles Straw to pick up Tucker. Um, which, I think Bo Bichette's got a great bat. He's been very meaningful to the organization. He's not particularly great at shortstop. He has a preference to play shortstop. I think he's better at second base. They've already they've already got guys that can play second base. Maybe not as good of a bat, but I feel like the outfield is the area that they need a little bit of help. Santander didn't work out. Maybe he'll work out this year. I thought that was a great signing at the time, like a tier 2 signing. And but I think if you get Tucker out there, George Springer can do a little bit more DHing. Varsho, doesn't have to play as much when his bat is cold. You can sit him until his bat heats up again. So yeah, I think Tucker is really the one of the big pieces for the infield or for the positional players. They need pitching. They need some bullpen help. I think they need a closer. Like, I don't mind Jeff Hoffman, but he didn't look great down the stretch at the end, and obviously, gave
Yeah,
up a home run when it mattered most.
yeah. I mean, what were you? Were you 2 outs away
Two
from
outs,
the
yeah,
Wanderers? 2 outs? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's
Did I
tough.
have I told you about that like one meme that I came across? I don't know if I told you. I'll tell the story really quickly because there's nothing worse than having someone else tell someone else about something they saw on the internet. But it's really funny. So it was like this like Toronto divorced dad talking to his ex-wife about some responsibility between their like child that they needed to. And so she calls and she's like, "Oh, hey, sorry about the loss. Like, Billy's got to go to baseball, blah, 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 blah." And she's like, "Yeah, loss is fine." And they keep talking. And then she's like, "I just want you to know Rodrigo," which is like, the new guy in her life. He's a Dodgers fan, but that shouldn't come between the two of you. And she kind of keeps going on. Then he's like, "It was 2 outs. We were 2 outs."
Dude, I still can't believe that like ended 2 outs, but
Yeah.
Miguel Rojas is up. Like,
Yeah, on a full count. Like
I still can't believe that.
the number of times in that series that the Dodgers made a play on a full count was crazy. Like, I get you got to throw a strike,
Yeah.
but like, how often does that happen in baseball? Like,
Oh yeah.
normally it's just nothing. Like, the batter is so concerned about striking out that they don't put a good swing on it, and it just ends up in play and it's thrown out, or they miss. And it's not often that like it's not often that they just don't throw a fastball and force the batter to hit it. So I don't know why, because I can't remember what pitch he threw, but it was like it hung and he wasn't throwing a fastball.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it was.
Still though, Miguel Rojas. I mean, come on.
No, he threw it inside
Um,
too, in a ballpark that brought the field in on the sides, and yeah, but that's not
so
it. Like, there's like, I come back to, because like, since we last talked, there's all these people posting all these instances of the ball getting stuck in the fence where there was no call from the umpires. Like, that was also just absolute
yeah, that's on the who
horse.
I can't remember who that was, but that was on him just to like know the rules, I guess, to like ask that because
Justin Dean.
yeah.
I think it was very smart of him. I
Yeah.
don't believe that. I think that the umps made the wrong decision. And I think it was smart of him to pick the ball up and throw it in, which I thought was interesting, that, the ball's stuck on the fence. I can't play it. And then he just
And he
easily
just
picks it
plucked
up
it
and
right out. Yeah.
throws it in. It's like, isn't
Yeah.
that the evidence that you need right there, that definitely wasn't stuck?
Um. All right. Switching tones a little bit. Did
Yeah,
chat? Did
let's get off
anyone
the
see this?
Jays.
Did anybody see this report about CeeDee Lamb? Did you see this?
No,
So
what is,
okay.
don't tell me this. I don't want to hear it.
No. So okay. So Monday night comes the game,
Yeah.
and the first Cowboys series, they come out and CeeDee Lamb's not on the field. George Pickens not on the
Yes.
field. So
I
everyone's
saw that.
freaking
Remember that?
out.
Yep.
They're like, why are they not on the field? What is Brian Schottenheimer doing coming out of coming out of the bye week? And he's got Ryan Flournoy and Jalen Tolbert out there over Pickens and Lamb. So then the next series comes, they're back in, well and good. Obviously, it's clear it was disciplinary and that would get addressed later. Then there was a report, and I don't know who had this report. It was someone on Twitter when I saw it. There was a report that CeeDee Lamb was seen throwing up at the Red Rock Casino at like 5 or 6 in the morning on Monday, like on game day.
Oh yeah, I'm reading it right now.
Okay, so
7:30 a.m.
So that was what the report was. And then today, a Dallas Cowboys reporter reported CeeDee Lamb said he and George Pickens missed curfew before the game at Las Vegas. The two were having dinner and a few drinks at Red Rock Casino. So they were at Red Rock Casino and they did miss curfew, and that's why they did not play the first series. Lamb denied he was throwing up. He said it's a disrespect to even suggest that. He knows how to hold his liquor. And I've checked. This is an actual guy. So CD actually said that. He felt disrespected that people said he was throwing up.
Well, hey, he's probably, that's probably the true part of the story is that, like, I don't know, I'd have to go back. Back in the day, there was two brothers, Russian brothers, the Kostitsyn brothers.
Okay.
And I believe they both played on the Nashville Predators at the time. The Preds were playing in Arizona. And they were seen at the W at like 4 a.m. the night before a game, like completely like inappropriate as a pro athlete, considering you're playing the biggest games of your life the next day. And I believe there, like, I can't remember correctly, but I think there was like no disciplinary action at the time because they're like, man, we need these two guys.
Well,
Hungover or drunk or not, we need them. But then I think they were off the team immediately after they lost and they were out.
This type of stuff like that, I guess it doesn't bother me as much as other stuff, just because how often did this happen years ago when there was no cameras or anything though, and like people just didn't know, like
Totally. And you hear all these stories. Like I know all these old hockey guys, NHL or close to the NHL, and they would talk about how that was the norm back then. But the game is different. Like back then, you didn't need the same level of cardio that you do today. You didn't need the same level of like tip
yeah,
top athleticism
it
as you
definitely
did.
varies by sport though, for sure.
Yeah. And so like in hockey, like most of the like I think I don't even know if I want to say this. I know one NHLer quite well, not personally, but just observing.
Hey, no
And
name. We don't have to give out names. It's
yeah,
okay.
there's no
No
names.
names. No names on the stream.
But like I see this person's day-to-day life. They're not drinking. There's no alcohol in that person's life at all during the hockey season. Like there's no room for it. He's gone to the rink at 7:50 a.m. every day. And when they play, he's home at 11 every single night. And then he's back to the rink. And they have one day off a week. I don't see an Uber picking him up. I don't see any of that stuff. So like I look at that, I'm like, the Red Rock's not even on the strip.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask, but I'm assuming.
They must have been staying there or staying close
Well,
to it
yeah, that I
by the
was gonna.
stadium.
I was trying to figure out if they were staying there, because if they were, I'm surprised it was like just those two. But
But maybe they decided to stay out. Like it's in the if that would I would be surprised also if the team stayed there. But
I
there's
don't.
other places around that maybe they stayed in one of those.
Yeah,
And
I
they
mean, like David Wells has told the story a million times about how he was drunk from the
yeah.
night before, when he threw his perfect game. So, but that's
Well,
also like you're saying, like to go out and run around a football or hockey, that's not the same really as
I know
pitching.
that there was a game where a bunch of my buddies were at Cactus in Toronto. Russell Martin was playing for the team at the time. He was out till 2 a.m. with them. Like they're fans, but they're cool guys, so they were all hanging out. And then he pinch hit the next day at 1 p.m. He wasn't scheduled to catch, but he went into the game 12 hours later.
Yeah. Okay, I Googled it. This is just Gemini responding. Visiting teams in Las Vegas stay at various hotels, with NFL teams often staying in off-strip locations like the Westin Lake Las Vegas Resort.
Well, I've stayed there. It's very
Uh,
nice. That's far
y-
away.
yeah. Other teams have been known to stay at hotels on the strip, such as the Aria. I mean, that's like,
That's in the heart of it.
Yeah, the Aria.
Red
I can't
Red
remember if
Rock.
I've been in there. The
We've
Aria's been
definitely
mentioned
we've
in
been in it.
Drake songs, so that could
We've been in
definitely
the
be an
Aria.
athlete spot. I mean,
You and I
Drake.
have been in the Aria.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that being an athlete spot for sure. Um,
It's
I-
it's not the most accessible because it's like smashed in there with the
it
Cosmo and
is. Yeah, it is. Wait, okay. Hotels used by visiting teams: Westin Lake Las Vegas Resort, the M Resort Spot, Red Rock Casino Resort is listed on this. So we can. It's fair to assume the Cowboys were staying there since it's on
yeah.
this list.
Well, what's the stadium name there again?
Uh, Allegiant,
Is
I
it,
think.
yes, you're right. Good memory.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I
Okay.
did pull that out of my head right there.
So and the Red Rock would be off the strip and it's to the southwest. And it would be accessible quite easily from where they are. Like it's not that far.
Okay,
So it
yeah.
makes total sense. And I bet you maybe the whole team is there and they just decided to
Is that though like okay? But then we can get into the fine. Let's get into the fine print here. Is it really breaking curfew if you haven't left the hotel that you're staying in?
if you're not in your
I
room, that
I
was always
know,
the
but
rule.
for sure, I understand that. But it's not like they're out and about and got to get back. Like they're in their hotel.
Yeah.
I think there should be some more leniency if you're in your hotel versus like if they
Yeah.
were on the strip or something, even though it's still Vegas, I could understand that. If you're just down in your own hotel,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I was choked because and we'll look at my team afterwards. I was like well positioned to win my expert league week. Um, Jameson Williams had a touchdown with the Lions. Jared Goff was average, but his average still resulted in a whole bunch of fantasy points. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, it's okay. All I need is for CD to, have a really good week, be the best player on the field, which he's done so many times before. I'm waiting for him. He's my best player, first round draft pick. And he has that great first part of the game, scores, etc., puts up like 14 points right away. And then George Pickens goes off for 40. And I lost. Like, I couldn't believe the
What
reversal.
what
Now,
what? How many points did you lose by?
like, well, and I think I lost by 15. I had players on my
Okay.
bench. Like, if I put in Bam as opposed to Chris Rodriguez, I know we ride or die
Well,
together on,
we
on,
did, but he
yeah,
also got stuffed at the 1 yard line, and then they
I
didn't
know.
give him the ball again. And then he
Yeah.
also got stopped at like the 3. Like there are outcomes that game where he has 2 touchdowns.
Yes. I know. I know. I listened to it on the radio and I was very disappointed. But at that point, I was like, for early in the day, I'm actually happy that he got 7 points because he didn't get one. So
Yeah.
he was kind of what he was is projecting out as. And then the other one was I put in Pitts instead of Andrews. Andrews had a great day. Pitts had a terrible day. If I put those two players in, I win
Kyle
handedly.
Pitts, man. What the
Yeah,
Falcons are a total disaster.
yeah. He's off the like tight end one position on my team. He is not anymore. It's all Mark Andrews the rest of the way.
Well, they're gonna have Kirk Cousins now too, so I don't really know.
I thought that would help Kyle Pitts too because all the
When he
tight end has
came
to do is
in,
just run out 4 yards and then look back and catch the ball up the middle. But
I can't remember what game that was when he came in, the Dolphins game, maybe. Yeah. I think it was when they played the Dolphins. He was horrible. I mean, they were terrible. So I
yeah,
have no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, he started against the Dolphins. They lost 34-10. He went 21 of 31 for 173 yards. He got 173 yards on 21 completions. No touchdowns. It was just bad. So I don't know. I don't know if he has anything left. The Falcons are like next in line to fire their coach, in my opinion, because they thought they were going to compete for the Super Bowl this year, and they
yeah,
are legitimately terrible.
yeah, yeah. So he's like, yeah, yeah. He's on my. I'll keep him as the backup, but he's not getting any time back, especially with Lamar Jackson back.
Yeah, we can look at your team. So quickly, here was the Guillotine League last week. We had to survive Jonathan Taylor's bye week. We did that with ease. We're down to 6 teams left in the Guillotine League. George Pickens, that it hurt you, but it helped me. Steve,
Yeah.
30 bomb there from, and then Prescott got 28. Ferguson scored a touchdown. So we got our guys back this week. Everybody healthy, ready to go. This is the toughest week left, though, because the Dallas Cowboys this week play the Philadelphia Eagles, and their defense has been playing great. If we can survive this week, I think I win the league, Steve, because after this week, listen to who the Cowboys play. The Chiefs at home on Thanksgiving Day. That's going to be a shootout, presumably. The Lions indoors also in Detroit. That should be a shootout. It's going to be a super high total game. They play home against the Vikings. Again, should be a high total indoors. Home against the Chargers should be a good total indoors. So we're ready to go if they can get past the Eagles this week.
Yeah, the Eagles have had some very low point totals, but the one thing about the Cowboys is they have an all-world offense. Like they're firing at all cylinders.
Yeah, and Dak Prescott's actually been good against the Eagles, even though their defense is good.
They've run the ball well. They've got lots of weapons. I think they're not going to. I think this maybe what I'm trying to say is this is a good week to face the Eagles, because if you're down to the last 2 or 3, and they've been able to pick up some of the other players as the other teams die, you might be in trouble. But because there's enough teams left,
that's true.
You got to beat the Golden Camel, Roto GPT, and Full-Time Fantasy. Even if Pickens gets 20, Dak gets 15, Ferguson gets 7, you're probably going to survive with Jonathan Taylor back in the lineup.
So I'm trying to look at the recent moves for some of these guys. So like Draft Battle picked up Pittman. He picked up Jacobs, but Jacobs is not even playing this week. So, that doesn't do anything.
He's stashing. He picked up London.
Same thing, like stashing, like he's injured too. Full-time picked up Burrow. Golden Camel getting James Cook is a big.
Yeah,
that's a big move. And then McMillan, he's been good. McConkey, that's a good pickup there. But I wish I had money.
Imagine you had $10.
Yeah, I could get. I could have got Lad McConkey if I had $3. I don't have any dollars.
So who is released? Like who was released? Who lost?
So this guy lost. So Herbert, Kincaid, Debo, Devonta Smith, Drake London, Josh Jacobs.
He had
James
3
Cook.
QBs.
Apparently, Apparently. Oh, this is Lauren. Actually, she had a.
I remember her.
Yeah. So I wish I had dollars to make any pickups. I don't. I've been rocking this same team.
But like the reality is, like, are any of those players better than your players?
I would have liked to have McConkey, but that's about it. I want to see what week I picked up Jonathan Taylor. It wasn't week 3. I want to say it was week 4 or 5.
If you do just by date, I think you can, if I remember correctly, maybe it's still by week. Yeah, it's by week. Never mind.
Let me see quickly. Nope. Maybe week
just
5.
go to the last week you had any picks.
How
wasn't it the final you spent all your money on, JT?
Yeah, that's why I was trying to find it. I don't think it was week 6, but maybe it was. No,
this
had to be like week. It had to be like week 2.
I thought it was like week 3. Yeah.
I have no idea. There's no
Try
way
week 3.
Was,
Try week 3.
I think I went to week 3. Oh yeah, it was week 3. Yeah, so I haven't made a move since week 3, and these guys are just loading their teams up, and they can't beat me. $998. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I wish I read the rules properly. Dummy.
Remind me, did Travis read the rules? Like, have you talked to
No.
him about this?
Yes, he didn't know the rules either. He just got lucky that I had more money than him, or he would have been in the same boat of not having any money. Because I just told him, I was like, I have more money than you. You can't get him. But he was going to put all his money on him too.
Well,
Dumb.
I think this is the best we got to survive this week, but I think this is the best week to be facing the Eagles.
I agree, and I really think we're winning this league, man. The Cowboys are going to carry us, and I'm going to let everybody in
No
Vegas
injuries.
know.
No injuries.
Yeah, if we stay healthy, we win, and I'm going to let everyone know I made no moves after week 3, and I still beat them all. Where's the guy that made guillotine leagues is in this league? Oh, and also I wanted to talk about that on stream and I forgot. Chat, when you do these expert league drafts, they give you a Zoom call link and everybody gets on and they draft together. And these guys, these just total boomers that won leagues back in like the 90s that think they're good at fantasy still, they were on there laughing at me. They're like, who's this guy? He's got all the Cowboys. Like, how could you get everyone on the same team? If they stink one week, you're going to lose. I'm like, what if they're good every week? That doesn't, what you're saying doesn't make any sense. They were roasting me in this Zoom call. Like the guy that made guillotine
was Howard there?
No, I don't think he was. But the guy that made the league was like, you can't stack in a guillotine league. You're going to go out. They're going to have a bad week instantly. And where's he? Way down here. I don't see you, buddy. Mr. Guy that created this league. Yeah.
Invented the games. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the old guys are, well, I think I'm like right in the middle of both groups. The old guys are funny. They're very funny.
It's like if someone doesn't draft like they did in 1989 when there was like 100 people playing these leagues instead of like 1,000, like if you look at like the biggest, even like the big leagues now, like the online, like main events and all that stuff, none of those guys win those now. They won these like years and years ago when no one played fantasy and they like think they're like the authority or something. It's crazy.
Well, they don't use any data. Like I remember when we went to one of the first ones, I won't mention the name because I like the individual. I was telling him about Rolling Insights and about how, I play fantasy and it's like pretty much primarily data. And there's essentially 3 groups in fantasy. There's the people who go off gut instincts, like they watch the games and then they've got their favorite players, et cetera. And so they kind of pick based on what they see.
People that lose.
Yeah.
You can just say there's a group, there's the losers. That would be that group.
And then there's people who read content all the time. So they're reading the news, they're reading the expert analysis, et cetera. This particular individual is in that group and works for a company that produces that type of content. And then there's the group that uses data. And it's like primarily data. Now, you might get somebody who does 2 of 3 or like will use a little bit of both. But like normally you're kind of planted in one. You either follow a lot of the content, read a lot, hear a lot, etc. Take in a whole bunch of expert analysis, and then kind of build your own consensus. And then you have a lot of people who are the data side, which is me, where I'm like I consume a little bit of that, but like I'm primarily looking at the numbers. And so I was telling him that, and he was like, oh God, he's like, you'll never win doing it that way. And I was like, well, it's been working so far.
Yeah, like, look, I mean, I would say on both of there's no one on this planet that watches more football than me. It's not possible. I watch every single game, but like I use data more than anybody. And we've got this right here, Steve. I mean, to say it doesn't work, that's not true.
Yeah.
It's just not true.
Yeah. I 100% agree. And like, I think it's the older generation that's reading or going on gut instinct. And the younger generation is more analytical friendly. And you can't be all analytics because you'll miss opportunities. But they understand the numbers better than the old guys who are just like the worst group is the ones that just watch the games and then pick players. Like they have no idea. They pick the people that look good.
Yeah. Well, those are the people we like to play against, though. So
yes. And in
More
these
of a
leagues, they don't do very well anymore because the other thing too is the strategies have changed. Like one of the ones that I never employed in my life previously is like if you're in a bye week, you go pick up, you know, W2, W3 on a bad team, but at least you're going to get, or maybe 1 and 2 on a team on a bad team. They're not going to get a ton of points, but you're going to get all of the points. So you're minimizing the downside. Like they don't do stuff like that. They don't handcuff. They don't stack. They don't like. They just go and pick a team.
Yeah, you just described my uncle that I argue with every day of my life. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's just insane. But see, the problem is though, Steve, these people that we're talking about, they used to play like 7 or 8 years ago, they played daily fantasy sports because it was like the new hot thing. It's like, oh, you can draft a team every week. And then they lost all their money and now none of them play DFS anymore. They make sports bets. So that's like the problem, unfortunately. Yeah. If we could go back to that, yeah, that would be good. But that's unfortunate.
All righty. Do we want to take a look at where's my do you want to look at Survivor first? Let's look at my team first.
Yeah, I want to see your team. I do. And
then we can look at what happened last week. It was sometimes I just don't want to watch the games.
Which specifically? Or like
just that Cowboys game.
Oh, okay.
Because I could just like going into that morning, I was like, "Oh, we're golden. We're gonna win this for sure." And then I just started watching the game, and then CD and Pickens weren't in first, and I was like, "Okay, what's going on?"
That was a worthy sacrifice though, because anyone that watches the stream, like we were just crushing.
Yeah.
So that was like a worthwhile sacrifice.
The stream did well, etc. But so.
Well, JMO, I mean, Tedrow McMillan, biggest game of the season, buried you out of nowhere. Bryce Young, 450 passing yards.
Yeah, but I was still fine until he had that big TD, and he was terrible, but he still put up 15 points somehow.
At least you have Brock Purdy back. He looked good.
Oh, I look great.
James Cook is good. Kyron's been playing well.
He looked good. He's banged up again, but like if I would have put him in, and if I would have had Andrews in, I think I would have needed another point. So if I had him in, but like,
yeah,
I also have won a couple of weeks that I think at the end I shouldn't have won.
Yeah, that stuff evens out for sure.
So it's okay. It's still projecting to be in the playoffs, which is the important part.
Yeah.
So we look this week here. I'll pull up my team on SportWise. It's game by game.
Jamison Williams is going to be a league winner. I think.
Could be
the way that they've been using him has been very encouraging.
Well, and he just it kind of reminds me of Alec Pierce. Was it last year? Where whenever he scores a touchdown, it's like 88 yards and a TD.
Yeah. Well, so he did nothing all season. And then 2 weeks ago, Dan Campbell took over the offensive play calling and completely changed his like route tree and the way that they were using him. And he's been insane ever since Dan Campbell took over the play calling. And then if you look at their schedule, indoors at home against the Giants, indoors at home against the Packers, indoors at home against the Cowboys, indoors against the Rams, indoors at home against the Steelers, like the most perfect next 5 games. I mean, he could really, really go crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Do I have? No, I don't have. I've got Jared Goff on my other team, so I'm okay with that because the better Goff does, especially going forward, it's good for my other team. But yeah, so like it's funny, like you look at Bam, his like per game is just ticking up so quickly. Hottie Roddy, he's ticking up, and then I picked up Sean Tucker this week.
Yeah, that's a good pickup. I have Sean Tucker on all of my teams, and I started Chris Rodriguez over him last week because I was riding with you, but I felt dumb about that. Do you remember on the stream when I was telling you about Sean Tucker in like August? Do you remember that? I need to go back and find that.
You need to clip it. You need to go back and clip it.
No.
Um, Mac Hollins was a little bit quieter this past week. Io Manor has really cooled off.
Yeah, he has struggled, but Calvin Ridley got hurt again, so
You think Target's going to kick back up?
it would have feel like it would have to at some point. I mean, no Calvin Ridley now again, so it's really just him. It's like two rookies, him and DK. They had Tyler Lockett at the beginning of the season as well, and they don't have him anymore. So like he would have to get targets the rest of the way.
So what we're looking at here is my team and their shared touches. So this is from last week. This is all the games they played last week. So Bam had 18. Kieran Charbonnet, he actually probably would have been a better one than Roddy. But Roddy was way down here. This is the other thing. Like you said, like once they had that stuff, he didn't even touch the ball afterwards. Is this the right week?
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
I got the wrong week. Never mind.
I was gonna say he had more
I
touches
was
than
like, we
that,
had
I
more than
thought.
that.
Yeah.
But he didn't have many.
Well, he also like ran hot getting overtime, so he would have got touches in overtime. But then Marcus Mariota threw an interception on the first play of
I
overtime,
know.
so he didn't even get a chance to do anything in overtime.
He had more 16. I'm
Like
wrong.
if you would have told us before the game though, Steve, if you said Chris Rodriguez got 80 rushing yards, you would have
Yeah.
felt pretty good about that. He just didn't get the touchdown and did nothing in the passing game. I thought he could do a little bit more in the passing game, but he just didn't. But like if you would have said before he had 80 yards, you'd have felt pretty good about that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, even look, he had 10 yards less than Kieran, and Kieran didn't have a bad game.
Yeah. Yeah. It just
Um,
didn't break right, but I think the process was still fine with that.
so and Hollins didn't. Do we think that he's gonna like? He only had 5.
Yeah, that was a weird game just because it was like the Jets. The Jets were going on some long drives. Patriots really didn't need to do anything. It's kind of just like a weird game. I still think he is among the leaders.
Keep him.
Yeah. And I think they have a good schedule too the rest of the way. Let me see who they play. They play the Bengals this week, best possible matchup you could have. And then the Giants, good matchup as well the next 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
I still think he's okay.
Okay. So here's the thing now. This is where we're all building up to. I think I have a sit start problem now because
Okay. Okay.
I got
Okay.
all these guys, especially at wide receiver, who going back to Big Guy Fantasy, Bob Long in the consistency report. I don't have anyone where I'm like, oh, these are the 3 obvious guys I should put in. So the trick this week is I'm going to have to make the right decision. So Mark Andrews, he's in. He's in. I'm not putting Kyle Pitts anymore. He's just tailed right off. It's been weeks since he had a good game. And CD's obviously in. But who do I put in for
Trey Tucker versus what? Like Io Manor?
Io Manor or try to find somebody else?
I'm definitely curious.
Trey Tucker wasn't bad last week. Like
No, he scored a touchdown. I like Trey Tucker. I would say I like Trey Tucker over Io Manor. I would like to see who's available though.
Okay. It's game by game. We'll look at that. Let's look here. Let's look at game by game first. So here's the overall touches from last week. Anyone there that jumps off at you that what's Mooney? Oh, I can't go back to Mooney.
Oh man, Darnell Mooney. I think I mean I see someone on this list that I like a lot.
Jaleel?
No, it is the same team as Bam Knight. I like Greg Dortch. No Marvin Harrison Jr. again this week. I said it on the stream on Sunday that Greg Dortch, he just always seems to contribute. Now, obviously Michael Wilson had that huge game, but Greg Dortch did good too, 6 for 66 and a touchdown. He would take that all day. And
Yeah, I'll
he's
take
just
that.
good. He's just good. And they get him the ball other ways too. He'll get some end arounds once in a while. I like Greg Dortch a good bit, to be honest. I would be comfortable starting him, I think.
So who do we drop? Manor?
Yeah, if you want to. It's just the Titans are just so bad. It's unfortunate, but it's just a reality.
Let's do it this way. Okay. Bear with me, everybody.
I was wondering I think we looked at this before about Luther Burden, though, and somebody has him. So if someone has Luther Burden, Greg Dortch is who I would start here.
I'm pretty confident that.
I think we looked at it before I asked you that question. Yeah. Will's had this. Will's had Luther Burden since the draft.
Yeah, just
he hasn't done anything. Oh God!
Can't wait
to we ever get to the bottom of that? Is he still not putting his team in? This guy, man.
Well, yeah, they can't now.
Well, yeah,
now it's unfair.
Yeah, you got to commit to the bit.
I'd be curious if someone dropped and they just put his name in as a placeholder. But you would think that it would be better if he played as opposed to not played. As opposed to a free team. Yeah. Okay, so you think Greg Dortch. I go look back, though. He had some tough weeks there. Not as consistent. He had that big week last week.
I am
6-1. I don't know. You don't have me convinced.
But that was with Marv playing, though. You have to take in. I think the 2 weeks he didn't play. So he got hurt against the Colts. Got very early in the game. Got a concussion. He had 9.9, and then he didn't play last week. And he got 18. So if you could look at just the games with no Marv, we're looking at basically double digits per game.
Appendix?
yeah, he was. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah. But I like Greg Dortch, and I gotta share, Steve. I gotta share with you some emails. I'm so confused. I don't know who this person is, but they're trying to connect us with a company or something.
Okay, yeah, send those over. So you want me to drop Io Manor, which I'm okay with.
Yeah. Because then we'll just assuming Marv comes back next week, we'll just drop Greg Dortch for.
Yeah, we'll just
get Io Manor back, or maybe another injury that pops up.
Wide receivers. I feel really good at the running back position. I have 9.
Yeah, for sure. And I probably agree with how you have it. So you have Knight in right now and Tucker on the bench. I think I agree with that right now. It's close. Because there was a report that Sean Tucker's role would continue to grow, and I don't think Bucky Irving is going to be back yet.
I just looked Rams versus
yeah, it's a better matchup for Bam Knight for sure. I agree with that. So I think I agree with that though. I think how you have it, swapping in now Trey Tucker versus Greg Dortch is the question, right?
Or Hollins. Trey Tucker, because I watched that whole game. Geno Smith isn't great, but he can still deliver the ball. Trey Tucker and Brock Bowers are the number 1 and 2 targets on that team. So I'm fine with that.
I think I would rank those guys Tucker, Hollins, Dortch. Yeah. So I think how you have it is good. The Browns, I've talked about this, way worse defense on the road. They're on the road. Your boy, we haven't even talked about Steve. We haven't even talked about that. Oh my God. You know who's starting. But
I'm so excited.
So yeah, I like Trey Tucker. Good, and Browns have good outside corner play. Sometimes they struggle, slot corner maybe. I don't know. Trey Tucker, they kind of have been moving him around though. So.
Oh, where'd he go? Did I spell it wrong?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't have any. Pull up the passing.
I mean, it was bad last week, but he was coming off the bench against the Ravens, tough spot. Now he gets the whole week to kind of get prepped. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens.
So I agree. Not good. Did I not put
I mean, it was
completions in
bad. It
there?
was bad. It was real bad.
But the weird thing is I went and watched, I think I posted this on Discord. I went and watched because someone posted the highlight reel of all the plays of all 16 passes. I was kind of like, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. He had 2 drop balls there, and he had 2 great defensive plays where the cornerback got in, reached in, and knocked the ball down. So he's up to 8 and 16 coming off the bench. The pick right off the start, like he's coming in cold, and they admitted that he hasn't practiced all year because they didn't plan on practicing him all year because he was going to be a scheduled redshirt for the entire season. So I kind
Well,
of look at it, I'm
yeah,
like,
he had no practice time. I mean,
and then
he
he
said
threw that pass
himself,
to Harold Fannin,
yeah.
which was a
It-
gunslinger.
he said the first time he threw a pass all year to Jerry Jeudy was in that game. So
Yeah,
he had never practiced him. So I can totally get that side of things. His issue is just, which is the exact issue that was coming out of Colorado. He holds on to the ball too long. So we'll see kind of how that happens. But
was he sacked twice?
yeah, he will
Yeah.
do better. Well, you can't do any worse than he did. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, it was like the worst. You can't do worse than that, but he will do better because he at least has the full week to practice, and they can try and formulate a game plan that will play to his strengths.
I think you can do worse. I think
I don't know.
you
That was
can,
pretty. That was pretty bad, man.
but given the context, like if you just watch him moving in the pocket, throwing the ball, like again, like back to that boomer eye test, he didn't like erase the result that happened at the end. I don't think he looked that bad. He looks like there's a much higher ceiling than Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel throws it 4 yards.
No,
He's like
yeah, no,
Kirk Cousins.
I'm not denying that, but
If you compare, remember the stat package from the 5, or was it the 5 or 8 worst passes from week 11 or week 10,
yeah,
and they were all Dylan Gabriel, and some of those were remarkably terrible. We didn't see one of those passes from Shadir.
hmm
So that's my point.
well, it's a tough spot too because the Ravens were very good. Like as soon as he came in the game, like they were just blitzing everybody. They were sending everything at him, and I mean, you can expect the Raiders to do the same thing though. Like Max Crosby is going to be coming at him, but he will play better having the week to practice. I think.
I agree. I 100% agree. And you're going to have Max Crosby coming at you. Welcome to the NFL. And the
Yeah.
question will be, well, can you rise up? Because he definitely has a better arm than 10 of the other quarterbacks in the league right now. And
dude, we haven't talked about what Myles Garrett's been doing. Like there might be records set in this game for sacks. Like he might have Crosby getting 4 or 5, and Garrett might get 4 or 5. Might have like 10 sacks in this game.
Yeah. Did you see that thing in college? I forget who the player is that's up for the Heisman. He's a linebacker.
From which school?
I forget. I'd have to go. I have to look it up. I just don't follow college close enough. It was on my X feed. Linebacker Heisman. I'll tell the story as I find the player's name. So they Jacob Rodriguez.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got you.
So he's getting no respect for the Heisman. So they put him in as quarterback, and he scored a touchdown.
Yes.
Which I like. That is, I love college football sometimes.
No, he hit the Heisman post too. I mean,
yeah.
Like
So I don't know. I always think that football in particular, they don't give enough respect to all positions. The same way I think Jonathan Taylor should win the. I don't know why we're watching this on repeat, but Jonathan Taylor should win the most valuable player. But Probably won't happen. Probably be a quarterback.
Yeah, JT will win Opoy for sure. And I don't know, MVP. Oh, God. Let me see what the odds are currently. Currently, Matt Stafford's favored. Drake May, Josh Allen. Like, that's the top three.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So back to Shadare. I come back to it. I'm like, if he can figure it out, because I think he's got the raw talent. Imagine the Browns with that defense and someone like above average.
If the Browns had a functional offense, they'd be top 4 probably
Like I feel bad for Jerry Jeudy out there.
in the
Like
AFC.
no one can get him the ball in a position where he can actually do anything.
Well, it broke so perfectly for them too. Like if they would actually have a decent offense, because the Ravens were injured for so long that they were down, and then the Bengals didn't have Burrow for so long they were down. The Steelers are kind of like is what they are. Like they could have beat. So I don't know. It could have been an opportunity for the Browns to step in there, but their offense is so bad.
Yeah, yeah.
I have them under 5.5 wins, so they can't get too good here. We gotta get that. Gotta get that to the finish line there. They can win 3 more. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I hope that he goes in, he does well for the story. I just like his playing style. Like I like the way he throws the ball.
I hope he plays good. That would be awesome.
Yeah, so I'll be watching the game for sure on what week are we? Week 12? Never mind.
Yeah, this is week 12. And then, Steve, we got to talk. So next week, like I said, American Thanksgiving. So the stream, it's going to be, I'm going to do it earlier in the day, but are you still going to come on, or are we going to do a different day?
That's a good point, because we have a engineering summit that day because it is US Thanksgiving. So we'll all be together. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. We'll have to figure that out.
Because we're still doing stream, but it'll be like when I do the Sunday stream, like it'll be before the game start, because the game starts at like 1 o'clock. So it'll be earlier in the day.
It'll be Thanksgiving. You just do all day stream until you go and have turkey dinner.
I should just I could stream the whole day and then stream me eating Thanksgiving dinner.
No, you know what you need to do. This is a serious suggestion. Is you need to go to family dinner, ensure that your uncle's there, and then bring him on the pod post dinner.
I've tried to get him on. I've tried to get him on the stream. He does not have any social media. He hates the internet. He won't come on the stream. I've tried to get him.
You set up a camera. He's
just unknowingly.
He's aware but doesn't understand exactly what's going on because he doesn't understand the internet. And you just get a good 5-minute clip on.
I would love to.
Do you remember?
Yeah, he'll go on. Dude, chat knows this because I've raged on here about my uncle before. This is what he does. He will call me like clockwork every Sunday morning he knows I'm on the stream. He'll call me during the stream time and I don't answer. And then when the stream ends, I call him back. He will go, who's hurt? Who's playing in the games? Anybody hurt? He will ask me this every Sunday. It's insane. It's truly insane.
You're like, you could just watch the stream, uncle.
Yeah. He'll say he doesn't have time. Yeah, I've said that. He'll say he doesn't have time to set his team. Sometimes he'll call me on Sunday morning. He'll be like, hey, you got to put this guy in for me. Like, what did you do all week? Why didn't you put him in? I understand it. It's the guy is
password.
No, it's because I'm the commissioner of like our family league, which is like the most serious league you could have. But it's like and then we get in drama because then people get mad that I make the move.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be doing that. So then that creates situations. And then he argues with that. It's chaos over here, man. Really
That sounds like a lot of stress.
Yeah, it's bad.
Anyways, serious suggestion, just 5 minutes of stream. Just get them on. Just introduce them to people.
I'll try and get some
okay,
video
picks this week, Lions, Packers, Rams. Lot of heat why I picked the Rams over the Ravens, even though they've got the same differential.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why I did that is because I think the Rams are the better team when we look at our power ranking, and because the Ravens have play the Jets, and the Jets have kind of played spoiler to me twice already. I think I've lost two entries to the Jets this year, and they've only had 2 wins.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people talking trash about the model because they're like, well, it doesn't account for Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson only missed 3 games. 3 games, folks. So I think the Ravens are still a great pick here. Like, don't get me wrong, but on my Reddit post, I picked these top 3, and that's the reason why. And then obviously Seattle, Patriots, and Eagles over the Cowboys.
I love it.
And those are your survivor picks.
I'd probably go Lions, but the Rams are a wagon, so I have no issues with that.
I'd go Lions. People were also asking about this one. I'd have to look at the numbers closely because it kind of baffles me. But every time that I picked the Bears over the Vikings, took a ton of heat on Reddit for that one. And that
Bears,
turned out.
They did it again, Steve. They lead the league in turnovers, and they still, despite getting all these turnovers, they still barely win these games. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Bears. I can't.
Well,
I don't know.
Steelers won again.
Yeah. Look at this. This is like my 2 most hated teams this year playing each other this week.
I'm going to watch this game as well. Yeah.
Who do I pick there?
What time do they play?
I think Rodgers is going to play potentially. God. I think I'd lean Bears, and I hate both these teams. I think I'd lean Bears over Steelers.
Bears are getting better. They're getting better.
The Bears are the luckiest team of the last, I can't. They're
the Washington Commanders of yesterday.
I know, but it's like, it's one thing to run hot. I said this on stream earlier. It's one thing to run hot in 1-score games. It's one thing to run hot in turnovers. To do both, to run so hot in turnovers and still have to win these games by 1 point at the end, that is not sustainable. There's no possible way they can keep it.
I agree. But I think that Ben Johnson's getting better, though.
No, yeah. Well, the Bears have the better coach, and I trust their offense more. So I would lean Bears over Steelers.
And then last thing, just before we sign off, I'm 5 minutes late. CFL this past weekend, Saskatchewan Roughriders. They won the Grey Cup.
Did you have that?
I did not. I had the stamps.
Oh, you had? Okay, okay, yeah.
I was going to pick one of the 2 of them, and I picked Trevor Harris's MOP and then stamps. I don't know who MOP is, actually.
They only beat the Stamps by 3.
Nathan Rourke. Okay. Shoot. But the good thing is the favorite didn't win. I don't think anyone picked Nathan Rourke. And the Riders beat them.
Oh, yeah, he is. He's Canadian, isn't he?
Is he Canadian?
He is, yes. I only know this because he
oh, yeah. Crazy.
From college. I remember, obviously he went to Ohio, so I'm very familiar with Nathan Rourke, but I remember hearing about him being Canadian. So
crazy. I had no idea. And that's a huge advantage to have one of your skilled positions with a Canadian in the CFL. That's a massive advantage.
Yeah. He was a wagon in college, so.
Well, he's still a wagon in real life. They lost.
I guess so, yeah.
They had a 1-yard toss, controversial. Nields was accused of trapping the ball, but they still counted. And the Riders went on and then stomped the Alouettes in the Grey Cup.
What do you think of this? He's nicknamed Kid Canada. Didn't know that.
I did not know that either. They don't call him that in Canada. They just call him Kid.
Yeah. They only call him that in Athens, Ohio, where he went to college, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. At the local diner.
Yeah.
Well, folks, quick little ad roll. Check out data feeds. Check out SportWise. We've been showing you all the data. And I got to sign off. Got another meeting.
Yeah, Chad, I'll play a commercial here when we end stream. I'll be live tomorrow at 4 p.m. I'll see you guys then.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend.